What's not funny about this?
And there is a twist.
So I watched it in Tamil and Hindi, right? Both the
Yeah.
languages.
Yeah, speaking about Merry Christmas, it was a very interesting watch which twisted at a very unpredictable time. You feel like you were watching a film that was familiar, like going in a same tone, but after a point things start to change, and they change in a way that you cannot expect, and there is a twist which wasn't which I couldn't predict, obviously, which I feel very frustrated because my mind couldn't be that sharp to understand that twist and see it coming from far away. But yeah, man, that was a intelligent writing venture from Sriram Raghavan once again. It wasn't very similar to Andhadhun because there wasn't much black comedy. But what do you think?
So first of all, it's not a thriller.
Yeah,
It's not a rom-com.
yeah.
It's a really well-made comedy.
Okay. Huh.
It's a really well-made comedy, and I'll tell you why.
Huh.
The guy just gets released from a jail,
Ah.
spends a whole night with a really beautiful woman,
Ah.
and tries to save her,
Hmm.
and then ends up in the
Jail again.
What's not funny about this? He gets out of the jail, spends the night, and then goes back again. Also, the way, the milieu
Ah.
of the movie, and also I watched it in Tamil and
Hmm.
Hindi, right? Both
Yeah.
the languages. And there isn't any difference, but there are gender dynamics are quite different in both the languages. So in Tamil one, towards the third act, the female police character is like the main dominant one,
Okay.
and the male character is like the submissive one, right? So in the Hindi one,
Hmm.
Vinay Patak character is played
Oh.
by he's so first of all in the Tamil one she's the sub constable, right?
Okay.
And she's quite the dominant one, right?
Barabar.
But in Hindi one, Vinay Patak is the SI.
Ah.
SI subordinate, and some other woman is like the
Oh,
sub.
okay,
But
okay.
Vinay Patak is the dominant one, and she's the constable. She just provides a hint, like ऐसा थोड़ा सा कान में डाल देती है वैसा types. That's it. That is the difference between both the languages, and also that card that flashes at the start. In Hindi, it's Rajesh Khanna.
Yeah.
And in Tamil, it's
The
Kamal Haasan.
weighing machine, yeah.
And also, the only reason I wanted to watch in both the languages was the finger thing, right? The way
He chooses the finger.
Cat.
Yeah, chooses the finger. Which one?
Yeah, cat chooses the finger, right? She chooses the same finger in both the languages.
Achha.
There's no difference. So that was quite underwhelming. So coming to the movie, the milieu it set was really brilliant because the way it starts is the time when it was Bombay was called Bombay,
yeah.
and that was quite clever. And you would only expect it from Sriram Raghavan, and I mean from there only it sets the mood right? Like it's going to be that clever film.
Yeah.
वहीं पे वो set कर देता है. And the way it progresses. So जब Albert Vijay Sethupati का character he goes into his home, old home. We see those pamphlets, right? Yeah, वो construction pamphlet, and he tears it one.
Barabar.
That pamphlet
is the same
guy
who comes
towards the end, and it's the same kind of photo he has in his wallet, right? Oh, so वो फोटो जो रहता है वो सेम वैसा ही रहता है, and it's just a foreshadowing कि ये ही इसका karma for tearing it, and then like it's a kind of
that's a great Chekhov's gun.
Yeah. I think the way it was treated is quite clever, that I've said. But then people saying it's his weakest work, I think I don't quite agree with that, because it's on par with whatever he has made. Like, I mean, the Badlapurs and the Andhaduns they are nowhere near. I agree, but then whatever he has made, it's like the Johnny Gaddar and Agent Vinod. I love Agent Vinod. So yeah, I feel yeah, it's not andhadhun, but it's neither the worst
Film
the
he has ever
director,
made,
yeah,
yeah.
the director could have made. It's a really good movie, really well made, tight movie. There are no what do you say, loopholes which you can find. And also it's like this same generic Sriram Raghavan movie where a lot of characters are introduced in the second half. So
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
Yeah, I was expecting, because there are events unfolding, so new people might come into the picture. Like, because there were very few characters in the beginning, because there were majorly what, three characters. One was the own, what you say, the person he was familiar with in the
Uncle.
building, uncle. One was Albert and one was Katrina. And if you go far, there would be a kid in the picture. So there was four. And even in
Actually,
that,
the kid is like the
yeah,
major.
yeah. So in that, only two characters were the active one, Katrina and Vijay, and only they were interacting in the first half. But when it comes to the second half, there are people involved and everything. And I believe he has done that before. And it's not like a trademark or anything, and it's nothing to complain about or anything.
Yep.
It just adds to the flavor that he was creating. But coming to the point where you say people considering it the weakest film, or the film being not that good, when I walked out of the theater, I had the similar feeling, like the film was underwhelming. There wasn't much crazy things happening, bigger twist happening. But once you go, like once you are 1 hour, 2 hours after watching the film, you start, yeah, you start to contemplate, like, what happened there. So was there a meaning to it? And then you realized, oh, so you become a detective about the film in the process, and you understand. So while watching the film, I had this doubt. If the person was shot, the gunshot wound would show how many hours before it was shot, and it would get you caught right there after the forensic test. But when it comes to the end, it is addressed, and I was like, fine, like someone has, like, someone took care of it.
Yeah, तूने तब भी बोला था, like when we were watching, that thought came right
after
when
the scene,
she shot, yeah, and then the next scene is where that is like cleared.
Yeah.
वो clear कर देता है तभी के तभी, and that was quite clever actually.
The way you say, like, you felt it was a whole comedy. The end part, I differ. I felt sad for the character. Like, man, he did so much for the woman, and then now he's getting ready to go back to the jail, and I was like, man, they did him bad.
So वहाँ पे क्यों बोल रहा था comedy is because the editing pattern is like that.
अच्छा.
The way it is edited वहाँ पे, it's see there's a certain edit cut, right? Like
Yeah.
cut, एक different type of edit होता है.
There was also
sad
music.
films, yeah, sad films and like comedy films, right? The end part, like the end 10 minutes are edited like a comedy. Like if you see it again, like because I have watched twice, I have noticed it. But I don't know if you'll notice it again if you watch. But then the music and the edit is like kind of comedy. Like it is quite comical because the way Sethupati also reacts and the way the camera also pans and shows like how dejected he is, it's kind of comical. That's what I felt, and that felt quite funny to me. I don't know about others, but then also throughout the movie the dialogues were quite distinct. They felt natural, but also they belong to that story only. Like they never मतलब ऐसा लगा नहीं कि they are breaking character कभी, या फिर like outlandish character, मतलब they never felt ऐसा मैं movie में देख रहा हूँ. They felt natural, but also they belong to that era. वैसा था. Production design. Man, crazy production design. See,
I would say even here I had a problem when they were walking on the streets of Mumbai, mainly in the fort area. What happened is, I felt that it was because I wander around a lot in that area, so I am familiar, like, how it has changed over the years. So I know, see, those are the recent changes that have been made, and they didn't exist back in 1980s. I guess this was shot in, yeah. 80s. Yeah,
the time was never mentioned actually.
Yeah, before, yeah. So at that time, what do you say? The streets weren't like that. So as you were saying, he has used it cleverly, saying that when Mumbai used to be Bombay, and not showing what year it was. So given the time, I know these are very recent things, and I cannot clear it from my mind saying like these were vintage things. These I know are very recent developments in that area. So, but when it comes to production design, so there was a bakery shop that he goes to, there's a toy shop, and there's the home. Those three things had the proper vibe of an old vintage thing.
theater as well.
The theater as well,
That
yeah.
was top, like to the T. It was bro, kya say, bro, best production design, and also
And production design plays a very important role when you watch the film.
Yep.
You'll understand.
yeah, and also coming to the production design, he foreshadows it with that aspect as well. Like the books in the shelf. Every book is a neo-noir, French neo-noir.
Oh,
And one of the book is the story which was see.
the bride something.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
Even on the bus
no,
which
that's
is going.
different. That's different,
Acha.
which is mentioned in the novel.
हाँ. अच्छा, okay.
वो जो story जो बस
हाँ.
पे जो पोस्टर जाता
हाँ.
है, it's mentioned in the novel, but it's never talked about. Only
Okay.
Vijay Sethupati mentions it, right? एक बार.
Mm-hmm.
But then the story we are seeing, which is from like the book it was adapted from, वो book movie में है.
Oh.
We see that book on the shelf.
Okay.
And I caught it in the second watch. And I feel this is the movie like you will feel exhausted after the second watch. Like
Yeah.
you can't watch it more than twice or thrice.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. And maybe I watched it in quite like successive.
Like very recently, yeah.
So maybe that's why the feeling that
Quite
sort of
understandable.
felt. But then his previous movies are, even though we know what's gonna happen, but they're quite rewatchable. I feel this movie doesn't.
Like we'll make a guy sit next to him and watch this scene. I know something great is gonna come.
Yeah.
I think this movie after a few months we'll do it. After a few months we'll have the what you say.
I mean, yeah, it's not that bad. I don't know why people didn't get onto it, but it's a really fun movie actually.
And also I would differ to a point saying that the film is an out and out comedy. I felt there was a very good chemistry. The starting scenes were very contrived though, saying like Vijay Sethupati sits in a cafe and then someone comes and tells you have to talk to the woman, and those felt a little contrived.
He leaves his food.
Those things felt a little contrived, but then the chemistry between them speaking only, them walking the streets and conversing at the home and everything, that felt very organic and I enjoyed it. Him dancing awkwardly.
Also, just because I watched it the second time, I noticed Kat's acting, like Katrina's acting throughout the first movie, and she nailed it, bro. And because when you're watching for the first time, you don't know, na, ki Kat's like
why she is doing all this.
Why she is doing like this and why like she's holding a secret. We don't know that, right? So हम लोग ज़्यादा Katrina के character पे ध्यान नहीं देंगे. Because we are more involved with the
towards
story.
This plot.
Barabar, right? But then when I watched it for the second time, her every reaction to like Sethupati's dialogues, certain dialogues, and her every action, like what she does is on point. Like you won't nitpick. Like even if you want to nitpick, na, there's nothing to nitpick because Katrina kind of nahi, she nailed it actually. मैंने देखा, she's supposed to act nervous. She's supposed to show that she isn't affected by anything, or she's supposed to show that she's hiding something. वो दिखाना है, कुछ तो छुपा रही है, but वो दिखाने उसको नहीं पता, Albert को नहीं पता, and she nailed that. And also whiskey bottle, that is also shown really well. Yep. वो second watch पे देखो पता चल जाएगा मस्त. But I think for me Tamil felt actually better because of the gender dynamics. Okay. And also and he did it because of location as well, right? Every location has a different politics, right? Gender politics. In Maharashtra side, we don't see women police officers or women constables being dominant, right? So I think that's why he went with the different narrative structure. But I felt the Tamil one was quite funnier than the Hindi one because the story. By the way, that story. You remember the story he tells to that kid? That's really well put in Hindi than in Tamil because the Tamil subtitles kind of butchered it. And it kind of leaves you like perplexed actually. But the Hindi one nails it. Hindi one tells the story to the like perfectly. What's about to happen? वो foreshadow कर देता पूरा अच्छे से. बराबर बोला हिंदी वाला. तो वो एक अच्छा था हिंदी में. तो मतलब every part, like दोनों में से there are some good parts and some bad parts. If you're a native Tamil speaker, you might have gotten the right meaning what story, what is supposed to say. but the Tamil version acting was way better. Jansi, no,
Yeah, Jhansi.
she did it. Matlab Vinay Pathak also did well because used to Vinay Pathak and he does those roles very actively, right? But then seeing Jansi in such a small and impactful role, it did it.
She did that in Raja the Great also, yeah, the police role. But
I felt
but
quite
making you feel for a character who has just been in Mumbai for a day is a great feat to achieve. It's a very interesting take. It was very well written.
Ronnie character was played by Sanjay Kapoor in Hindi.
Oh.
And he nailed it. He also, bro, I feel the casting, they nailed the casting actually. दोनों parts में, like Hindi और Tamil में दोनों में, they nailed the casting. But then Tamil one towards the end feels more, I mean, comedy थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है. वहाँ पे comedy feel होता है.
Hindi wasn't like that.
Hindi one was also same. Like the treatment is same. But then Vinay Pathak's character आते ही वो फनी है थोड़ा, बट देन यहाँ पे नेचुरली फनी आता है. तमिल वाले में ना वी डोंट नो अबाउट द कैरेक्टर, जो भी प्री कंसीव्ड नोशन नहीं है ये कैरेक्टर्स के बारे में, बट इट फील्स नेचुरली कॉमेडी, वैसे कॉमेडी लगता है नेचुरली. बट यहाँ पे विनय पाठक आते ही यू नो व्हाट्स अबाउट टू हैपन, सो वो थोड़ा ये कर देता है, इट कट्स यू ऑफ थोड़ा.
One of the things that I appreciate about Sriram Raghavan's writing is when he creates humor, comedy, he doesn't do it on the expense of a character, his disability or his inability to do a thing.
Beat down नहीं करता.
Punch down humor नहीं करता.
वही punch down.
So he creates it out of the situations, which is great.
Commendable actually.
And for that, even if you don't have the knowledge of the language or you don't know the language, if you're reading the subtitles, still you would find it funny.
Even on the screen, you will. Like it's quite evident on screen as well.
So that's why even if I watch it with English subtitles, a Tamil film, I'll find it funny.
काफी सही है. And also shout out to that Ronnie's wife character. दोनों में she played it really well. बहुत मस्त है. हिंदी में she is quite loud. Like वो sarcasm on the face है. But Tamil में it's quite subdued because the women there are, वो also काफी मस्त खेला. Because Tamil वाले में she is like wow he's nice, but she says in a very innocent way में बोलती है, right? And it comes off as sarcasm to us, right? But then Hindi में she is sarcastic. Like ये हाँ हर एक लड़की को अपना कार्ड दे देंगे, वो क्या है इनको, ये तो इनका दायाद का खेल है, ऐसा टाइप का. I mean that whole sequence ना police station, he changed it according to the language and it worked really well. I think that's Sriram Raghavan. Commendable man. काफी मस्त writer है. I loved the movie. I feel it's a really great movie and everyone should watch it. I don't know why people snubbed it. I think it's the curse of Andhadhun.
Not Andhadhun, but the films that are also the weight of Andhadhun's success that he has been carrying. Because everyone is expecting a film similar to Andhadhun. If you don't carry his previous work, even if you carry it, the whole filmography that he has done, not just Andhadhun, you would enjoy it. There were releases that happened in that week. This one stood out. It was Sankranti release, I guess.
Bro, no, it was supposed to be a Christmas release. Christmas and release. It would have been so fucking.
But it was a Sankranti release, I guess.
No, wait. It was supposed to release on Christmas and then Salar and Dungi came.
Yeah, but now it did on Sankranti, right?
Yeah, 12th, yeah.
And because of that, there were a lot of films that were happening in that.
Bro, but in the north there were no movies, right? Only
but then people were watching the subbed ones.
Hanuman only.
Hanuman, Sandav, Guntur Karam and everything.
Only Hanuman was the competition and Captain Miller too.
Captain Miller too.
But Captain Miller didn't get a proper wide Hindi release.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's a really well-made film.
That deserves a lot of attention.
Yeah, it deserves. I mean, people should. I mean, it's not great as not great as Andhadhun, but then you could have watched it, man. Acha tha movie. At least watch it. I hope people watch it in OTT and thoda mil jaye. जो भी praise है, because it's a really well-made film. I really liked it.
It is.
There are, I mean, flaws कुछ नहीं है, but then I don't know what what should I say कि negative क्या है ये movie का मैं नहीं बोल like I can't pinpoint. What do you do? Like, can you say like what are the negatives or that don't work for the movie?
The problem is that, see, what happens is I can't say, I'm not able to spot something that he has done wrong. I know something is you say not working, like not up to the mark, like something about it is less. I feel I'm not able to articulate it, but I feel that way, that something is incomplete, the experience is incomplete. I don't know what it is.
Everyone I have talked to about this movie has said the same thing. They can't pinpoint. Even I can't pinpoint like what's the what's wrong with the movie.
The problem is that because he does everything right, only something is incomplete, that I'm sure.
Do you think the ambiguity in which he leaves us while telling the Radhika Apte story?
No, I think a little bit of it has to do with the instances that he creates. Those felt a little, what you say, a little too coincidental, like them finding the same people and everything. That doesn't feel natural.
And that's supposed to be
films. Yeah, I understand.
What then?
Like it's just people going too far to nitpick it.
That's
Like
going too far actually.
They would give leeway to films if the big stars were in it, like superstars were in it.
I don't think
and
so.
If there were bigger directors, bigger
star.
Yeah,
I think we have to talk about Vijay Sethupati, man. He nailed it.
Yeah.
The dialogue delivery of this man was speaking in Hindi. It speaks, man. I love that guy. I love that. How can you hate that guy? Bro, he is so charming. He captivates you like the minute he's on the screen.
True. He has a very, what you say?
The way he folds his lungi. Bro, even that is funny, bro. Even that is funny while like we are like there's Radhika Apte on the screen who's like really charismatic. And then there's Vijay Sethupati on the other side. You're like bombarded with charisma on screen ek saath, and he's making those as
he has a very unconventional charm.
Yep, he has that, and that needs to be talked about. He's like, I mean, he has that charm, and as well as he's that everyday man. Like he looks the part of an everyday man, but he has a certain charm.
Nuances.
Yeah. He's really this generation's. I feel he's the man of the masses. Because he nails it in the art house movies. Yeah. As well as the commercial aspects. Kafi balanced, like वो बीच में है आदमी. Yeah, it's a good watch. I think OTT में देखना चाहिए यार सबको.
Yeah.